Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back once more to Anno 1802. Yeah, my trader that is about to load 300 tons of coffee on its way to Crown Falls. This will be the final push. As of the last episode, we have all the products in for finally advance to investors. So once again, I hope in this episode we're going to achieve quite a few things. By the way, if you enjoy this content, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also consider a Patreon support for my channel there. I would really appreciate that. Now we have in Manoler everything basically set up for long-term production here, and in this case what I still would like to do before we head over to Crown Falls again is work a bit on that happiness for my obreros. They actually want the boxing arena right now that I still haven't provided to them, and this is really an easy thing to do. It's a service building, it's something we should add, it's something that requires space and does not have the best radius, but still it's something that makes sense. Let's actually get this my obreros over here for now, right? Because this is a monument area actually here that I would like to reserve, but for now it's fine. And then we have this tiny spot here in the center where we can add it. I mean, a boxing arena in the center of the city. Yeah, some might say this is not very realistic. Others might say this is just perfect. And let's just get this cracking right over here. Here we have actually also this plaza area that I would like to extend a bit. There we have an entrance. So this area we can then leave open for some ornaments. Like, let's add for now some palm trees here, stuff like that, some greenery that we can have then right here. And with that, the boxing service has been supplied. We do have a content population again, and the obreros have +4 happiness. That is another coin and another happiness coming in for each building, thanks to this service building here. Rum is actually easy since we do have rum production in the New World, but it's, yeah, not having a lot of benefits right now that I would like to tackle for the increased consumption rates. Let's also fix some of those ruins, and with that, yeah, basically most of the things are nicely set up here. There's also Gorgon here that is waiting now for his turn, so he's already assigned to the coffee trade route. I'm just going to wait for this one here to leave and arrive in Crown Falls, so that we can have Gorgon then as well working on that. That's almost 300 tons. We have 685 tons capacity in Manola, so for now we are perfectly set up to have 2 full Royal Clippers fully cargoed on its way to Crown Falls before we need to think about any additional expansion in this area. So far it's rather quiet in the New World then. Miss Hunt is just, yeah, actually she's staying in her part for now. We have the fleet to protect us. We have all the items right now, including foxglove that we need. So nothing else we need to do here for now. Let's head back to Cape Trelawney, because in Cape Trelawney, yeah, Miss Hunt is a bit on the annoying side of things. She will take toward Murden. Right now she's sending those ships over. The only thing I can do here is damage control, and that means I'm not going to allow any cargo ships close to these ships here, because that would hurt me too much by losing that ship, obviously. Let's just send this one over there for now. Right, that's with the grain, and yeah, that's about it. There's also this Royal Clipper, but that's super fast, should be out of range. There you go. They're attacking this. I can't really do anything about that for now, right? I also cannot spread out my ships. This would be too risky. I need to keep them together. So in this case, losing those small islands, yeah, it's a nuisance, but it's not anything else than that. Let's try to destroy those ships though. That would be the main goal here, because with that we can reduce her power and prepare that big attack on Karoth there as well. That's something I really would like to achieve at some point here. That's the improved version. That takes a ridiculous amount of damage, but it's down, very good, and we're also able to destroy the other 2 here as well. So that's 3 more ships down that you will not be able to use for the foreseeable future. Back to Crown Falls, we need to think about the first electricity power plant for my engineers and investors alike. So in this case here, we have the tracks already, right? And the tracks go then over here into this area where we have the space reserved for it already. And they are also down here then potentially that we can have all the way up here into the heart of Crown Falls. So let's just make sure that we can use this with as little space as possible. And there we have number 1, right? As you can see, not that much space. If we really want to get the full coverage here, we might actually need to move the variety theater that I have in this area. And then we have a second one over here somewhere. The cool thing about this one, there's the pub that we could actually get rid of, or I'm just having it in here. Yeah, I think this is actually the best spot for the power plant. So let's move those artisans away from a bit, right? For this, let's actually move those workers away over here, and then let's move those artisans away into this area. So they still stay within the inner city, as I would like to call it, right? Like this track that we have there is like a wall around Crown Falls, dividing it into the inner city and the outer city then. And let's just repair those ruins there. Those are down here. Then we have the tracks coming into the central station, and behind the central station there will be then the power plant at some point. Let's have those guys moved again. And with that, let's just go in actually and let's do this, right? So we can go ahead and have the placeholder removed that we have there so far. And instead we're going to use then those tracks that are now going, yeah, probably like this. We don't need to be super hyper efficient about squeezing it yet another building here, right? So having a bit of buffer behind the buffer is actually totally fine. This goes then in, and this goes then into a one track into the power plant somewhere here. And let's actually build the power plant already, because we are going to need that electricity real soon. And with that, we have this one filled. The central station will be quite some time off, right? So for now we can keep it like that, as the trains are coming then in from this side into this area here. And here let's make the connection again. Super important that we keep those connections up, otherwise we're cutting the city and also all the service buildings around it. And this should get its oil now, right? And then supply all of these people here with electricity. That's going to be a lot. I wonder why we don't have electricity here, but here it is again. Oh, yeah, that's the other power plant that's coming from here, right? This one, we might actually think about moving this a few inches up to get these last 3 buildings in as well that don't have power at the moment. That might be something. All right. Power is coming in, the coffee is coming in, and then we're all set. We could also think about upgrading some more artisans. We have lots of them here in the inner city. And of course we do this because they get maximum coverage right away. So they have the bank, right? They have power then as well. So they really get boosted all the way up to the top then really quickly. Among everything else, this of course is also a super nice boost to my balance. Get these goings here, right, and then these here to the south. And with that, this whole district actually has been fully developed now almost with engineers. There's still some artisan and a worker here that we've just upgraded, so there still will take some time, but other than that, this is looking fantastic. Might also think a bit of a mixed theme for these guys here. Not the colorful one, wouldn't fit. But the white one we can have in addition. I think that just squeezes in nicely with the darker brick theme. Especially here around the bank itself, right? We could go with a bit more of these brighter skins that we have. And by the way, these guys here, yeah, perfect. Looking very good on the balance again without any propaganda. Also, the streets of Crown Falls get really dense with all of this. I also just love to walk around, enjoy the atmosphere. Take a cab perhaps, you can do this. That's the coolest thing, right? And then we can just drive around here. I could do this all day. And then we have this little plaza area here, where there's also a power plant now working, and it's already active as I can see. And with that, we have the electricity delivered. There it is. And with that, we only wait for that coffee. Another thing I do is now also adding a power plant here for this industry zone. It is needed. We are running out of sewing machines. We are running out of canned food and fur coats, and this will solve a lot of my problems. Placing it here actually is the safest bet. We could also get it a bit further over here to the south. There you go. And of course have then a road down here as well. For this we will need to still move a few things around. Let's get rid of this brick factory there, so that we have now the power track then all the way down. Let's upgrade all the roads here to further extend its reach, right? And also up to the north over here. With that out of the way, let's use this triple road that we have to get us in that next train. Now with all of this we have one problem though, and that is of course that we do not have that oil production that we need for all of these plants, right? So we do need to expand our oil supply there as well somehow. Just make sure that we have maximum coverage here. So this will be a nice boost. Where can we get the oil from? Now let's just have a look around. We have 6 more oil wells in Asterix, and that's I think it. Yes, this is about it. But we can use them. That's at least something. All the way up here. For those guys, we only really need some basic productions. I mean, building materials. We actually have almost everything in here in Asterix that we need. That's the windows and reinforced concrete we still need. And then, that's the biggest problem though. We need an oil tanker, right? So once again, I need to probably wait just a couple of seconds here to get the investors in, because now we have everything really set up for them, right? So now we are only really waiting for that final push. Why are engineers so unhappy? Oh, the rum is out. Also check this one. Oil islands, rum. Yeah, we will probably also need to do something about that. My main rum production is in Alamary. It's 51. It's tight, right? It's not that far away. More rum distilleries is a problem to me. I mean, that island, that city is already pretty massive, but we can still try to get more, right? Here and here and here. But we are coming to the end of what is actually possible with spamming those buildings, and I will really need to work on more optimization then soon, because this is not a solution here anymore, right? This is just an ad hoc thing that we do. And I will soon need to work now on boosting those plantations with items, with dung, with fertilizers. Right, let's have one more here. This should actually work. No, it's not. It's too close. And these guys actually lack some farms even. There you go. We're not boosting them at the moment. It is possible. Nah, we don't really need to, as my production is looking fine. The only thing we really need is more rum distilleries then. Right, so that's 6 more tons of rum that we have now. That goes it up to 60. I might even close it for these people here, as it's just affecting a bit of happiness. And now let's keep it for them to have a bit of a happiness booster, right? And if I go with Crown Falls here, we do have now a tiny surplus of 10 tons. That should be fine. The only thing I might think about is storage. It's at 435, so as I can see, we're actually already using the maximum storage here. So what I will also need to do is, by the way, we can activate the coffee trader now. And yeah, let's activate this one. So it gets the coffee now over. Should be also quite a bit. That's ship number 2 now working on this trade route. There you go. And let's also fill in some bricks here as it makes its way here down to Alamary. Also unloading some of those bricks that we need for increased storage capacity. And I think we're only having 1 rum trader. No, we have 3 actually. Then it's a storage problem, right? So Let's just get that storage over. In the meantime, my New World fleet was sent over here to Cape Trelawney because I would like to move on now onto Miss Hunt and attack her main harbor area. So she is moving her ships up to the north right now because I have my ships now stationed here, and I guess she perceives that as a threat, which of course it is. And my New World fleet in the meantime is coming in from the south, where we now move into the harbor area then as well. Let's just make sure that we destroy a few more ships here before we do that. Right, and then I'm moving in from both sides here with both of my main fleets. So this, of course, is risky because if we lose those ships, those fleets, then we are defenseless. So let's move in. Let's just push them both, I guess. Or we are, first of all, we're destroying as many ships up here as possible. Losing a ship off the line is fine. It's not the biggest thing here to me. Let's try to get in between them. Very good. So my ships can fire from both sides and they get separated. Essentially doubling the firepower then. Very good. That's a lot of her ships going down right now. We're moving in now with my fleet number 1 and fleet number 2. So her ships are down. The defenses though will be very, very problematic, right? So the defenses are the hardest part here to crack. We're sailing with the wind, so that should be in our favor. And wasn't there a flamethrower somewhere? No, it doesn't look like there's a flamethrower, actually. So let's just focus... Oh yeah, there is one, right? Harbor artillery? There's a flamethrower. Of course, focus on that too. And this is looking very good for us. Righto, she's going to lose her island here. That's a big blow to Miss Hunt. I've lost a few ships, of course, but that's manageable. The important thing is that she loses her main island in Cape Trelawney. There it is. She's lost it. This is great. This is a big victory for us, because with that, she's also losing her ship production in this area. Let's just loot a bit, because there is potentially some very lucrative loot for us. My ships are already have looted quite a bit automatically, right? Yep. Selling a few things here and there shouldn't be the worst of things. And that is, I can't underestimate what a decisive victory that is, right? Because with that, she's gone basically from Cape Trelawney. Of course, not completely. We're going to take the smaller islands now. We're doing this with the Cape Trelawney fleet that are moving up now. The New World fleet, in the meantime, can already go back again to the New World. Probably here to Foxglove, right, which is the closest one. This ship here stays in the area and repairs itself. They're doing it automatically. That's fine. Thank you very much, both captains of the fleets. As they're heading now back. Cape Trelawney fleet is going to clean up, because these small islands have no defenses, right? And they're easy to clean up. Of course, it does not weaken her that much in the grand scheme of things. She's still twice as strong as we are, but it makes things a lot easier for us in Cape Trelawney, because she can only now enter from the western border, right? I can have my ships over there and protect this border, and while this is active, we actually basically are safe now in Cape Trelawney. That is huge. That is lovely. In the meantime, of course, also the boosting of my industry is in full swing. And there we have it. We can upgrade the engineers to investors. And ladies and gents, let's go ahead and do this right away as well. This full row here we can go with. We have negative 137 influence. Poof. With that, and investors are in to Crown Falls. And with that, the age of big business starts. and is upon us. And yeah, let's just go ahead and upgrade as many as possible, because this solves, as you can see already, my influence problems. Also, we get the embassy, and with that a courthouse, that is a monument that we can build. And once again, let's make sure that we keep those engineers that we upgrade right now together to investors, so that we can have then the maximum coverage for the service building. Negative 18 influence. Oh, this is so beautiful. We are almost positive. Right? Almost positive again. And also Crown Falls reached metropolis status. Even getting a firework with that. Going up, also skyscrapers have been unlocked. That might be something to consider at some point. Let's also switch the thing here to something a bit darker. And those guys here, of course, have a whole bunch of new things they want. For example, they want wine, cigars, chocolate, and steam carriages. On top of that, they want now ASAP the members club, because holy cow, these people are not happy. So let's provide that. And we don't need that church here anymore, right? Because, yeah, those investors don't need it. Oh, sorry, Sean. You also have the demand right now. Over ceasefire and peace treaty again right away. And with that, let's also, by the way, artisans is not that full anymore for us. Here, there's still something. Oh, she's attacking again somewhere else? No, that was just Sean over here. Getting too close. Actually looking rather safe here in the New World. My fleet should be, yeah, traveling already. There they are. Coming in as well. No, other than that, this looks fine. By the way, here, there is now the bricks. The coffee trader continues, and we can continue also building some more storages here. So really, a lot of development once more. And with investors, of course, comes new demands, comes also a higher boosted AI, because they're adjusting itself every time you upgrade. I really like that church though. Do we really want to get rid of it? No, right? Let's actually move the marketplace and the pub a bit further down here. I think that's something I would like to have more. So I'm going to have them a bit further down here. Marketplace and pub. Right, and with that we have the space available. The member club should have a beautiful range anyway. Yes, so we can actually get most of it in, right? Somewhere here. There you go. This makes them a bit happier now, right? Fulfilling one of their happiness demands right away. Still, they're not going to be the happiest bunch for a while. In the meantime, I'm making my move and take over the last islands of Miss Hunt. It's 3 more as far as I can see. There's still a bit of fog on the eastern side of the map that potentially has Miss Hunt constructions. Or abominations, as you can also call them. Yeah, that harbor artillery is doing a lot of damage. Holy moly. It's a big one, right? Blasting my ships there. Yeah, lost a ship there. That's fine. With that, we have a positive influence again for a while. That actually is great, because with that we can rebuild more trade ships. Or build more trade ships. Conquering this one. Meanwhile, a second smaller fleet is moving into Widow Magna, because here we can take over this island now, and this fleet I'm going to take over to that island here on the eastern side. Take it over there as well. Some windows. She doesn't have a white flag in her harbor areas, unfortunately. That would be just great, right? With all of this, we might consider getting rid of some defenses, honestly, to free up influence. Asterix has it. I mean, Asterix is a really important island though for us, right? That's something. Carroth will belong to us. There is, as long as there's no big attack coming in. Defense, defense, defense. We also have this one here. in Maynard. It's so risky, right? It's so risky getting rid of that defense, but it's something we probably will need to think about soon. Alright, a surprise, a fun find. That is this island here. We haven't discovered this one yet. Peter Hive, it's called. And just as we move to the eastern side, we are actually just casually taking this over too. Of course, all of this costs influence, which is the primary problem for this. But we need to. It's important for the future. Let's move over. There's also a flamethrower. Oh, that's actually pretty dangerous. Yep. Down it is though. There's still, yep, the trading going to this port, but that's it then for her in Cape Trelawney. Let's go back to the New World real quick. My fleet has arrived back again, so let's send them over here to Tomasi. Tomasi has still such a high defense. Alamari. I might just for the heck of it get rid of this row of flamethrowers here. Right. Get me some influence in again, because we need that influence to get me an oil tanker out there. Let's go to my steam shipyard and build me an oil tanker, please. Small oil tanker. Where's my normal one? Huge collier. Triton. No, I think it's a small oil tanker that has a capacity of 1 cargo slot. That is, of course, the oil. I cannot see though how much liter it is. How much kilogram, tons. Let's build it. That's the modded ones, of course, right? And then we should have the modded huge oil. There it is, petrolier. That's a modded building, a modded ship, and this we can only unlock with 7,000 investors. We're sitting at 4,500 right now, so that's that. Yeah, also penny farth things are out a bit, probably because of all the upgrades. We are having quite the consumption there. Still way not enough influence for any kind of newspaper, right? So newspaper, it wants also my biggest motivations here. Let's build the second bicycle factory. Just as my fleet closes in on this island. And overtake it then as well, of course. No losses here on my side. She does not have a good defense at all. Which was to be expected, of course. Alright. With that, we have cleared Cape Trelawney of Miss Hunt. That's a huge milestone, just as important as the investor level. Because it's going to make things so much easier. Let's get the main fleet over here again to with Magna. Because somewhere here, if she attacks anytime soon, she is going to enter on that side of the map, right? So we want to have our ships then as close as possible to this area to make sure that we can intercept them. And yeah, that's about it. I'm not going to tone down any of my defenses for now though, because I'm a bit too scared. Right, I mean, we might do it for Crown Falls, getting rid of 2 flamethrowers there, saving me a bit of influence. That's great. And of course, we still have also Sleepy Hollow that costs me a lot of influence. It is right to ask the question, do we really wanna insist on Sleepy Hollow? Of course we want to, right? It's our first settlement, and the threat here is rather significant, so I'm not going to tone it down here. Alright, as we can see, the oil is going down now because of the, 3 power plants that we have. We still have some time before it runs out, but of course we need to work on that. So one thing is that, with the influence we have, let's build me another royal clipper, right? And let's also build me then a cargo ship. We're going to need those. And then we're going to get some materials over to Asterix, where we have our 6 oil springs that I would like to use. We have the steel beams here already, so I would like to work already on some development. So we have the oil harbor then here. Let's have it as close to the end as possible. So we keep this area here still. And then, not the best planning on my side. We need to get rid of this grain farm and on this grain farm, right? And this one here we are going to cut a bit to get the grain then here. So that we have then here the possibility of that train going all the way here to that harbor, right? There it is. This goes up then into that area where we have then 1. I think 1 will do. Or we have 2. Let's have 2. 1 for these 4 oil springs up here, right? and one for those 2 oil springs down here, or 3, depending on how we want to separate it. And with that, we have then the oil production up in asterisks. Get these powers done. Let's actually have 3 for each. And I think we have finished it already. Yeah, there it is. Electra, my first oil tanker. And Electra is going to be on this very important route for us. Let's just wait on the clipper to be finished though. And after a short time, finally there it is. Also my construction materials that we need. And with that, we can now fully finish both of these refineries, right? And also the oil harbor. Let's also upgrade the oil harbor 2 times right away to get it some storage in. And yeah, a new production is up and running now for us. Hooray! Also with that, let's get us a new oil route. Actually, I think it's the first one. Yep, the first oil trade route that we have. And of course, we push in now the oil from Asterix to Crown Falls, and we use Electra, our latest one here, for the job. Up to this point, I can still not see how much volume Electra can actually carry. Where is Electra anyway? It should be on its way already. There it is. Really interesting. I cannot see its volume. It's down here already in Asterix, right? There's no oil yet though. So the first hole will be empty, but from then on, we should be able to get something done. Oh, okay. There is a problem still. There is no connection here. There you go. Now we have it. And now that production is starting to ramp up. This is really important because, yeah, my oil supply in Crown Falls is getting lower and lower at the moment. So this is something we definitely want to fix there. Also, I got a salvager from Nate. And in this case here, let's get it to my harbor area here. We're not going to salvage just yet, but we're getting closer to having a bit more of a relaxed working environment, right? Also, let's work on some more upgrades. We have the goods in. It's just incredible. We have all of this without any propaganda right now. I did not expect to actually be able to pull it off without propaganda, because it really makes the game so much harder. And more tedious, I should say. Let's have these guys here upgraded, right? So we're working on that. And here there's also lots and lots of additional workers that I would like to upgrade to artisans, because that means more engineers down the road, and that means more investors down the road. Fantastic. And you know what? Actually, these guys here, let's have them upgraded to engineers. With that, we're out of timber. Who would have thought about that? That this happens at some point again. Out of timber. But since we have some ship production up and running right now, we don't have the biggest supply of timber. Alright, those investors' light bulbs are out. Really? Oh yeah, actually they are. We have a -1 ton. Let's actually get the next light bulb production going, another filament production, and we are definitely out of something here. Coal and iron is still fine. It is sand, and with that glass in addition. So let's build us another sand mine down here. I could be thinking about a boost to 1 or to 50%. This only decreases my happiness by 1, and we still have a perfectly happy worker population with that. Let's do this. Of course, sand consumption is quite high, also because we're boosting some of those sand mines here with electricity, doubling their output efficient, also doubling their input, of course. We have the influence, so this means we could spontaneously purchase a ship again on Isabella Samento. That means I can go ahead and re-roll again for the white flag. And since we have the investors now, we have much more choice here. So another row has been unlocked here, and we get new items. I think they're boosted. This is the Mayan Priestess. This is a modded one that we get then with the Mayan treasures. 2 million is quite expensive. I'm not going to do this, but hopefully we do get a white flag now, because we have way more slots available, but we've also, of course, unlocked way more items. That's the downside of it again. Yeah, even with all these rows, there is no white flag. What a pity. But progress has been nice this episode. Purged Miss Hunt from Cape Trelawney, advanced to tier 5 investors, and with that onwards to new adventures and more city expansion hopefully. Stay tuned.